role. Like, he has a voice on this team, and he does not hesitate to flex and exercise it.
Well, here we go. It's the grand final. And what a three to start things off.
All right, it's that kind of game. I'm okay with it.
Just like that, it's a triple. You know the vibe, keeping the hot hand. Going into the paint and get that shot out of here. It'll stay with the Park boys, who for the first time in a while, they're going to be in the blue uniforms.
Yep.
And you know the vibes, they're going to be in the white. And Eddie lobs it up, but JLB can't finish on the other end.
Oof, okay. That's what I was telling you, Scott.
Yeah, go crazy.
Hot hand.
It's 5-0 start. And remember, Park boys, they got a game in their back pocket here. If they drop it, we're going to have to play another.
Yeah. So go ahead and just, I mean, honestly, I would just play.
You got to close it out.
Yeah, I would.
You don't want to come down to that. JLB with a fall away.
Nice, nice.
The German, Danke.
Yep. So you'd like to see a good game out of him, and delivers on his first bucket attempt.
And JLB knows what he missed out in season 2. And you get that feeling, you get in the league, you got that camaraderie. I know it was rough in Dallas season 1. We talked a little bit to Haza about that earlier.
Yeah.
Certainly they were teammates. Dallas reformed. Certainly they're better for it. JLB would like to find his way back.
Yeah, I mean, just like Dallas is better for it, I would say, you know, I would say that JLB getting a fresh start. And that's something that could really benefit him as well.
Here's go crazy. Outside, rims in and out. And Jordy keeps it alive. What hasn't he done over these last few games?
Guys has been built different.
But John from the outside, too strong. It's pulled down by Guardia. He's been very consistent with these Park boys. And they get it off to Eddie. I feel like I'm getting closer to him, you know? Throw a few nicknames out there.
I think a couple of them are.
I think a lot of guys around, they call him Edu.
Edu?
Edu.
Edu, okay. I got a little French in me, too.
You know, I mean, Americans, we come over here, we're like, we butcher the English language worse than anybody. Certainly I'm.
There's a reason Ebonics was invented, Scott. I'll leave it at that.
I like to butcher it with the best of them. 7-6 here early. Nice comeback here by the Park boys to close it just a 1-point game. Aitor gets it off to Guardia. Eduardo. A lot of patience here in the early going. Great defense from both squads. Somebody's going to have to put it up, and it's a turnover.
Tried to force that pass there with it winding down and just not paying off. But back in the hands it goes.
You know, my guy Dirk, who's hanging out in the chat, he would have found himself back in his birth country of England. Of course, he claims a little bit of Spain, a little bit of America.
Yep.
He's like one of those puppies, you know, at the pound, a little bit of everything. That's what makes him great.
It is, it is.
And certainly he's got his eyes fixed on the draft, just like these 10 players left here.
As he should, man. Dirk's got some real special qualities. Any team would be lucky to have Dirk on their roster. So.
I think Dirk claims whatever country's convenient for him at the time.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah, sure, I would do the same thing. And remember, the MVP of this Invitational is going to get an invitation to the draft.
Yep.
The best of the 20 that we've had so far. We've had a tremendous event, great crew, the staff, everybody around. Really put together an amazing event. I never thought we'd see just 2 seasons into the league, going into season 3. Have something like this, and there's a big jam. And go crazy. Now with 4 points, 2 assists, and he pushes the lead up to 3.
And I would say, Scott, you know, I share your sentiment in that, but it's even better feeling when you see it validated, right? You see it validated by the gameplay, by the players, just the whole vibe in general has been fantastic out here in London.
JLB in the corner. It won't fall. The Guardian is right there to clean up the mess. He's been the Windex man. There's 2 rebounds, 4 points. He's got 2 steals as well.
Yeah,
Phil. He's starting to fill up a stat sheet.
Absolutely agreed, man. Somebody won on your wall. So playing that 5. No question.
That's from way downtown. Bang. 6 points. Back-to-back triples. Someone's got to come on here in this final. As Eduardo's off the mark. Just 1 for 3. It was certainly the belle of the ball after day 1.
Yeah. Touching that.
These guys have pulled off. There's an alley-oop. That pushes the lead up to 6. It's 4 assists now for M. Go Crazy.
I'm gonna need a water to get off that cold ring and get it going. I mean, you expect more of this guy. This is somebody, you know, saw in that first quarter about 2 games ago, getting that takeover badge and just taking it to town. His ability to close out, a couple huge threes to really help get the Park Boys to this position on winner's side of this upper bracket.
Getting a little alley-oop happy here at the end of the quarter. But you know the vibe. With a 6-point lead. And they've been playing great defense. I mean, you're holding the Park Boys to 8 points.
Yeah, no double digits thus far in this first quarter. You're doing something right.
They're going to hold it for the final shot. Cold ring and all.
Might chuck it.
And against the buzzer, won't go for JLB. And so at the end of the first quarter, 14-8. You know the vibe is already knocked out. Mario and Gunnar and the rest of the Rise Above crew. And you take a look at the stats here. That's not good for the Park Boys. Only 8 points.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, too. Like, you're not getting that production that you would expect to get out of Eduardo, at least from the jump. But, you know, it was only 1 quarter. Obviously, kind of shake off whatever he's going through. I think Guardia, he's going to be a big catalyst, Scott, in this. No questions asked about it. And, of course, JLB, always looking to get something out of it.
If you're struggling, JLB's on a post score. Maybe it's time to go to the post.
Yeah, especially while you're not down that
fadeaway.
You're not down that far, right? Only 4 points.
And there's the foul. That'll be his first, team first. 14-10. Guardia trying to keep his team in it. He's got 6 points, but they trail by 4. Nice find down low, and Jordy can't handle it. Ooh. That's going to be a turnover. See if Eduardo will bring it up. Finally got off that cold ring, Phil. He was struggling in the first.
Yeah, I was definitely slowing him down, but maybe now he can get that offense flowing, get some rhythm to his game, which we know can be very deadly and potent.
And that's a great find.
Right on cue.
Not pretty on the alley-oop, but it's still 2 points nevertheless. And it's crazy. I don't know if they adjusted on the league build, but no one could stop Eduardo in day 1.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just blowing by guys.
I mean, he was getting to the basket at will. Like, you know.
Maybe that's why we got to tip the cap to Pocholo, the Fiesta man from Spain.
Yeah.
He's holding it down like a fat kid on a blanket. There's no doubt about it. And there's a turnover. And Eddie off on the break, and this time he'll slam it home. We're tied at 14. This is 2K League Invitational here in Europe. That's why they're playing on Season 2's league build. That's the only way you can really scout or judge these guys. It's hard to tell a lot sometimes with the retail version of how they're going to handle the big stage, especially when it comes to shooting.
I'd take the league build of any season just off the fact that you know it's going to test player skills. And what a skillful 3 that just got delivered there. And all the space in the world, did not let it go to waste.
Someone in chat said I was bullying fat kids. I'm like the fat kid ambassador.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. I'm the vice president. I don't know what these guys are talking about.
We headed over to Gordon Ramsay's place. We put down some beef Wellington,
Yep.
and we threw some ribs on top of that. So we can make it happen.
Ooh.
And there's a turnover.
Yeah, Park Boys.
Just like that, they got the lead.
Yeah, Park Boys starting to make something happen as well. I think they stopped playing with the toes.
Corner. Itor. In and out. There's a rebound by Jordy. Has yet to find himself with any points after a huge 20-point game, but he does have 4 rebounds. Trailing by a triple. Go down to Jordy. And knocked away for a moment, but he keeps it. Shot clock running down. They got to put it up.
Wow, and he hits.
But John has been fantastic. 3 of 4 from beyond the arc. He's now got 9 points.
He was nasty.
Jeff Eisenband in the chat says he's going to take us out for some salads. That's a hard pass.
Yeah, sorry, my man. I don't eat grass.
No kale and quinoa for Phil and I. 17 all. There were 3 minutes to go. This is the grand final.
Yep. And crucial game for Park Boys to just put this thing away. You do not want to allow, the vibes to get that reset. All too many times I see that be, the end of somebody's tournament just off that. Just the frustration alone can put you on tilt.
The Park Boys
goes down quick from there.
2-0 record. You know the vibe. They're 2-1, so they drop this and it's over. Yep. Park Boys will be the champs. 18-17. That makes it 19-17 now. It knocks down both free throws.
Got some draft by John. Hashtag starting to trend in the chat.
He's been tough. He's been real tough.
That's great. Again, I encourage you, if you have somebody whom you support, let that be known in the chat.
Huge three-pointer from the corner. And that puts the vibes back up on top by 1. Been a low-scoring first half, to say the least. Old Eddie gets into the paint. He thinks otherwise. Guardia could have pulled the threes. He's got sharpshooting in his build. Maybe a bit timid. I noticed some of the shots they took on day 1, they're not taking here on day 2. Too much at stake.
Yeah, you don't want to be the guy who puts up that shot and have people kind of looking at you like, oh man, what the heck was he thinking on that one? But I respect people's ability to be brave and just rise up to those challenges, man. Like, you need points to win. You can't just let these possessions go to waste.
And there's a two-hand jam.
Yep, no wasted movement there.
Guardia leads his team with 8 points. 8 points, 4 rebounds, 2 steals. He's been the bright spot so far. And we're going to have a foul. We're going to have an and 1. And so that'll send the man from Wales, Jordy, to the stripe. Don't let that guy get it going, Phil.
No, not at all. He'll let you know how devastating he can be in that last outing.
And him and go crazy, combining for 37 points to bring him here to the grand final.
And it'll fool you, too. You'll think, oh, okay, well, we're keeping him contained. He's having a relatively off game. It's only the first half. You're going to get a chance to kind of bring that back in the second half. I feel like Jordy has shown he's one of those guys that could just explode at the drop of a dime.
Yeah, both locks playing great right now.
Yeah.
Certainly lowered the scoring. But Cholo from the corner can't get it to go. Kicks it outside. Crazy. Drops it off to Jordy. There's that pure rim badge going for Guardia. And so he's going to know where that rebound is. And they're able to get to it. It's JLB that brings it down. Here comes JLB. He's got to go to the fadeaway here. And gets it knocked away. Great double team. And Dova comes up with it. They could go 2 for 1. They never do, Phil, but they could.
They could. The option is always on the table, okay?
And they go down low, and Jordy says, nah, that was too easy of a shot, so he kicks it outside. Gets it back to Crazy on the baseline, won't go. Had a good look, and now they can hold it for the final shot and maybe take the lead here at the half.
I imagine that's what they're trying to do. Safe 2 anywhere presenting itself would be in the ideal situation.
We've been having special guests throughout the day at halftime, and we've certainly got another one standing by to bring it. You don't want to miss the halftime show. And that's how it's going to end. A defensive struggle fest. 22-21 here at the end of one. And looking at the box score, it's Guardia with that 8.7 rebounds. He's keeping it close. And then the sharpshooting outside, as they're 4 of 8 from downtown for the vibe, and that's been the difference, Phil.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, shooting 50%, taking those shots as well, but then you look on the other side and 1 for 6, not going to get the job done. But something to take a solace in the fact it's still only a 1-point game despite all that.
When we come back, we'll have the halftime show as we continue on here in the grand final. A lot of we love BDs in the chat.
Yeah, for sure.
So
genuinely good dude.
Maybe the best. So Guardia comes right out of the locker room and throws out a 2-hand jam. He's now got 10 points, and all of a sudden we have a couple big men making a move for maybe trying to be the MVP.
Yeah, we're always talking about, point guard driven league, and while that's very true, like a solid big never hurts your case for trying to make that championship run. And Guardia right now really playing some championship level ball with just how much he's engaged to help keep the Park Boys in this fight.
Up ahead, Eduardo will dunk it in, and all of a sudden we back-to-back jams, and it's a 3-point lead.
Yeah.
And certainly we've seen some good lock play here today. I know y'all didn't see Raphael on stream when we come in, but that guy had guys locked down, and certainly Aitor and Pacholo has kept it going on, and we got a long 3 from Crazy, and it'll rattle in, and we're tied at 25 apiece.
Good for him, man. That 4-0 run looked like it could have turned to 6 had they got another stop.
Someone's got to take over here. Got to separate yourself from the pack. It's a team game, but when it comes down to it, it's a zero-sum game. If someone gets in, you're not getting in. And that was a tough finish there by Eddie. He's now got 8.
Yeah, suddenly, right, he's got 8, so, doubling his point total from that first
and he's
half of
streaky,
ball.
And I mean that in a good way. Like, he doesn't streak both ways. Like, he really rarely gets down, but when he gets it going and gets that hot hand, he's tough to stop.
I hear you.
27-25. Of course, we want to certainly let everyone at home hope you're having a safe and happy holiday so far, and just a few days away. For somebody, they're going to get a good Christmas present here if they can be the MVP.
Facts.
But John will knock it in.
How about him?
4 threes for him. He's got 12 points, Phil.
I was going to say, how about him? I mean, he's having a heck of a game. 4 of 6 shooting from beyond the arc will tell you all you need to know about him. And that's what, the whole thing we're talking about. Yes, we have those guys who you highlight at the beginning. You'll build some storylines about them. But what about those guys, Scott, who can carve their path through the actual game? I think Bajan is a perfectly good example of that.
Well, my man Ed's starting to heat up here. This is an AM1 opportunity. He's now got 10. He'll head to the charity stripe, make it one more. 11 points, 5 assists. And remember, the Park Boys, they're in blue. They're undefeated so far, so they got to lose twice.
Right.
For them to really give away this championship. And it's a loose ball. Jordy able to jump on it and call a timeout. Or was that Guardia? I think Guardia was the one that picked it up. And it was him. He called timeout. And that'll save a possession for the Park Boys. And they're starting to look really good here in the third quarter. So a timeout with 3:22 to go. Eduardo has 11. Guardia has 10 to go along with 7 rebounds. Those two have been leading the way. JLB has been real quiet. He's just 1 of 4 from the field. Hasn't got a lot of touches.
Yeah, and that's really not what you want to see from the only true veteran guy in there, right? Just kind of looking at his resume. But JLB, very capable player and individual, can come to life at any moment. But to even just kind of push this team even further, beyond this 2-point lead that they're enjoying, man, he's definitely got to be a little more, at least vocal, at the very least, right? Because I'm used to hearing his voice.
I think Eduardo's trying to seize the MVP in the second half. If he can go on a run here and close it out, it's almost a certainty.
Right. Now, who's voting on that? Is that a fair question to ask?
30-28. And just a reminder, the winning team gets quite a prize pack coming in from our good friends at Champion. And of course, no one walking away empty-handed. There's been so many good times over these last 2 or 3 days. Here's Go Crazy. And the ball's loose.
His defense has really picked up on their side.
And they're going to call a timeout. That was Itor who jumped on it. And they're starting to burn away some timeouts here, though. Just 3 remaining to go for the rest of the game with 2:45 left in the third. All of a sudden, that man right there is starting to spread it out. He's just calm and collective.
That's what it is.
You know, and that has a calming presence through the rest of the 1 through 5.
If you got your point guard playing well, you know, saying all the right things, keeping the team engaged, it does kind of put you at ease, and it even alleviates some of that pressure you might have when you're trying to make a play, trying to make a shot, and you just know, hey, I'm not going to get beat down for this. You know, it's going to be kind of an encouraging atmosphere, if you will.
The good things I have to say about M Goes Crazy is you take a look at him here. And part of my scouting report, I see he's got great handles, certainly can finish with the best of them. He's a deep threat. He can shoot the basketball, but has to limit those turnovers. He's got 5 in this game. And the other thing I said about him is when it starts going bad, he starts getting easily rattled and maybe loses a bit of the mental game as we got a foul. Speaking of, that's him Go Crazy. That's going to be his first.
Yeah, I've noticed there's certainly attached to him, although skill, there's that snowball effect if things do go awry. It doesn't typically turn around right away, right? Sometimes from bad to worse. But that cannot be the case here.
We're in the finals. And Hamzu.
That's not going to help.
Where did he come from? He's got 5.
Right? He just kind of.
We haven't really called his name.
Not too much, but I mean, hey, final game. As for if they have anything to say about it, he's like, he gonna get his shout out one way or another.
He's the sharpshooter from Austria, and someone's got to guard that guy. But John, one more time, with 15 now. He's 5 of 7 from beyond the arc, and it's takeover time for Eduardo.
All right.
And he goes right to the rack and a 2-hand jam in the lead. Back up to 5.
Absolutely fearless.
That John's just killing him on the Fifi. It's just unbelievable the amount of spacing he's getting, and he's certainly locked in. All the way to the rack, Crazy, and he gets his shot blocked as Guardia comes over and erases it. They'll keep possession with 1:48 to go in the third. 16 on the shot clock. They'll trigger it in. Jordy's been awfully quiet in this game after having a huge game, Phil.
Yeah, I expected him to kind of be more of a catalyst for this team's success, or at least wake up.
Oh, my goodness. Unconscious. He's got 18 now. Trying to will his team into forcing a final game.
I'll tell you what, it was Jordy last time. Maybe he's decided it's my turn to step up, right? Maybe I need to be the guy to, at the very least, push us into a bonus game and send this thing into overtime.
Now you see Jordy in the bottom left hand of your corner. He's certainly got his game face on. You're coming up on the final minute in the third. They need him to have a big one. That's Crazy. Trying to get by Itor. This is a deep one. He pops the badge, but can't pop the 3.
Ooh.
Loose ball.
Yep.
Pick back up. Hamzu in transition. He can't hit the triple.
Oh, man.
That might have been a quick shot, Phil. You wanted to hold on.
Yeah.
Knowing that this guy right here has the badge. That's from another area code.
And they really are going to be kicking themselves for not trying to have that position, or excuse me, that possession go a little bit longer on their side as the ball is loose.
He took that shot from Manchester and knocked it down. Crazy on the other end. And just like that, the lead is evaporated. And just all of a sudden, Park Boys are down by 1.
That's where
what a run.
That's where you got to argue. You wish you had a coach right there, right? Just to know, slow things down. Don't let this, get too far out of control. Momentum is a real thing, and it is all over the court right now in the favor, the vibes.
Yeah, certainly when I said down by 1 possession. Eddie on the cold ring, and he'll throw it away. And all of a sudden, they're putting it up on eBay. They're trying to sell this thing.
Yeah, seriously.
After such a hot start in the third, they've gone cold. And you know the vibe in the white uniforms starting to take over. M goes crazy. Gets to the rack, uses the window, and it's good.
Wow.
A buzzer beater. And what a run to close out the third. They were trailing by 5. Now they're leading by 5, heading into the final frame.
Potentially the last quarter of ball we'll see. But
Park Boys are going to have to come back. They've given up 12 straight points.
You know, where's Park Boys? Where's that reliable offense, that tenacity on both sides of the floor that we're used to seeing? The reason they've got to this point undefeated, it's just not there, man. It's all about the vibes.
7 turnovers now.
Serious vibes.
Eduardo, 9 overall for the Park Boys. And someone's got to answer. JLB's got to get it going. They got to stop go crazy first. They've been giving up so many threes. You know the vibe. 9 of 15 from downtown, and it's going to be offensive goaltending.
Oh, no.
So the ball will go back to Park Boys here, as they're now 9 of 15 from beyond the arc. The Park Boys are just 1 of 9 from downtown. And when you look at the stats, Phil, that's really the difference. The hot shooting from outside has put the Park Boys in a really tough spot.
Yeah.
And it's a turnover. Cholo is just, he just won't go away.
I mean, there's 10 turnovers apiece on both sides, so, you know.
Another steal.
The team exactly holding it down.
Leading to points. And they got to take a timeout. They're down by 9.
I'm calling a bracket reset right now.
I think it's going to happen. I think we're about to maybe force a final game in this double elimination tournament. Park Boys were in control. But now they find themselves with their backs against the wall with under 5 minutes to go.
Right.
Eduardo searching for answers. After a little bit of spark there in the third, he's turned the ball over. And that's allowed Bajan to go crazy. 23 points off of 7 3-pointers. And that's not easy to do on the league build.
Yeah.
But he's come through with some big shots for the man from Belgium.
I mean, those are some of those are, you know, bordering numbers on some of our best players, you know, within the league. You know, you look at your Profusions, your Screddies, you know, shooters of that nature.
He's not on a pure sharp. But he's shooting like he is, I can tell you that.
Yes,
he's
sir.
really shown some range. Certainly a couple takeovers of. All of a sudden, he might sort of backdoor his way into the MVP discussion. 45-36. Can the Park Boys avoid going to a final game, or can they win it right here? They're going to need a comeback. And that's a big bucket on a cold drink.
Yeah, seriously.
Getting chilly, your stats are dropped down, and you almost got to green it, Phil.
Yeah.
45-38 now.
Defense needs to be the key. They've really allowed them to just score at will.
And there's a nice double team.
Yeah.
That's going to turn it over.
All right.
Aitor out on the break. And he knows this is an important possession. He'll pull it out and actually get fouled by Jordy. I think he thought about maybe lobbing it up to JLB.
I was thinking that maybe, but didn't know if he'd have
That's a first quarter play.
Yeah.
That's an up by 10 play.
Now when I need these points, all these possessions being so valuable.
They can cut it to a 2-possession game here. They try to walk back. Now they throw the oop. Nobody there, and it's going to be 3 in the key. That's going to be a turnover.
That's tough. That is tough.
22 turnovers in the ball game. 11 apiece with 4 minutes to go. You know the vibe. They're trying to force a final game, a winner-take-all scenario. And we're going to have a foul in the backcourt. And that's going to be on Jordy. He tried to go for a blitz, something that we certainly won't see in season 3. But it was really effective in season 2 as Hamzu cuts back door. That's a little perfusion move. And now he's got 7. You know, you stand in the corner so long, you lull a guy to sleep on the wing, and then all of a sudden you go back door.
Oh.
And here's another turnover.
Yeah, big turnovers starting to accumulate. That puts them at 12.
They need a big shot here. Jordy. That's a mismatch, and he'll give it up. Eduardo had the big fella down low. Now he's got him on the outside. That's all kind of space. Mid-range off the mark. He had a midi, and he blew it.
Gotta hit those, man. Free 2 just left on the table.
Go crazy. Can he put the icing on the cake? He's had a good game, 13 points, 9 assists. He'll get it back here. Under 5 to shoot. Trying to get to the rack. He tried to lob it up, wasn't there. And now they got numbers coming back the other way. They're down by 7. You need a bucket real bad right here. And Aguardo will get to the rim and lays it up over the outstretched hands and cuts it back to a 2-possession game.
If Aguardo is going to be as gifted as we've been talking him up to be, and as he's shown, these are these peak moments where you got to show up. Our man's got 19 points. He's definitely been holding it down.
These next 2 minutes, he could win the championship and the MVP, but it's another 3. Wow.
And how do you overcome that?
Let's go crazy. 2 for 2 from downtown. And that sort of felt like the dagger. I know we got 2 minutes to go. 8-point game. Eddie trying to answer, not there.
Needs those shots to start hitting.
Eduardo off the mark. And now they're going to use some clock. Take all of the 24 here. And they go down to Jordy. Jordy kicks it outside the corner. 3! That'll do it. We're going to have a final game here, Phil.
Yeah, there's no question about it. You know, coming into halftime, was it a one-point game, 1-possession game? Very, very tight race. But, you know the vibes just said, we're taking over, and we're taking it down.
So it looks like we're going to a final game as Dova! There's the exclamation mark. It's a 2-hand gorilla jam.
It's all just furthering to what I would describe right now a little bit of both a physical and mental beatdown that they are applying on Park Boys.
In England, they talk about where there be a twist in the tail. I don't think you're going to have it there. I think this one's over.
Oh, it is.
With a minute to go, we're going to go to a final game. A winner takes all. You know the vibe. After getting blown out by 29 points, has now won
Insane.
3 in a row. Insane. Unbelievable run they're on right now.
Yeah, nothing but respect and kudos to them. You know, to not only overcome that just absolute beatdown from earlier and revenge that, and then come against the only undefeated team that we had here and gonna force this into another game. That's why we have this invitation. That is to showcase this talent, to showcase people's resiliency. Not disappointing by any means.
Although we got coaches from the NBA2KL League here certainly scouting these European players, there is no coach. So someone's going to have to take a leadership role with the Park Boys and certainly talk it over here over the break when we come to this final game. 55-44. I think this MVP is also going to be decided in the final game.
Oh, for sure.
He can't hit another one, can he? 26. That John, one more time, the Belgian.
So your MVP race
8 of 11. It's starting to get silly.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. Oh, this man just showing up. This incredible shooting as you see the final there.
That John. 26 points, go crazy, goes for a double-double, and we're headed for one more final game. It's a winner-take-all here in the grand final here from London. Come on back.